Hello everyone, Old Fart Gamer here. This is my first attempt at trying some recording of my games and uploading to YouTube, and I'm going to start with an old one. That's a good game nonetheless. I still enjoy playing this. It's Cold Waters. We're in the 1984 campaign. We're in the a Los Angeles class 688 submarine, and we are at the start of the war. This is the very first mission. So, an enemy cruise missile submarine is transiting southward in the Norwegian Sea toward the North Atlantic convoy routes. You must sink it. This enemy sub is believed to be a diesel-electric Juliet class. It may have a diesel attack sub escort. Locate and sink the enemy cruise missile submarine. No secondary objectives. Okay, we're toward the North Atlantic convoy routes. Norwegian Sea. I want to, before we do anything else, I want to load a Moss in that. Alright. So, proceeding north across the Norwegian Sea. So it's going to try to make it out into the Atlantic. We'll have to watch the Denmark Strait up here and the GI-UK gap. And there is a submarine. I want to catch up to it in deeper waters. These are shelves. He's not going to let me, I don't think. Nope, we're going to be in fairly shallow water. We are going to close to 15,000 feet and immediately go to silent running.
Bring ship for ultra quiet.
Okay, we lost him. Contact faded down here. What are our conditions? Yeah, floor at only 400 feet. We're in really shallow water. So it's going to be difficult to detect or to run from torpedoes. We got very little room to dance. Now we got to find this guy.
Come left to 180, helm I.
Probably going to have to go to active sonar shortly. Let's set depth to 200 feet.
Make depth 200 feet, dive by.
Kind of split the difference and see what we can see. But I'm going to have to go active. I don't think we're going to find this guy otherwise. It's a diesel electric.
Dive at 200 feet, dive by.
That means it's going to be pretty quiet. Juliet.
Con, helm, steady course.
Semi-noisy. Well, he shouldn't be too hard to find.
Switching to active search. Con sonar, new contact bearing 118. Designated Sierra 1.
Yeah, that's quiet. That's most definitely a submarine, but is it a Juliet? Could be a November. There it is. That could be the Juliet. It could be a November. And it may have escort. Do I designate it? Because that could also be a November. No, this line doesn't line up just right here. It does on the Juliet. We're going to
Con sonar, Sierra 1 is classified as submerged submarine.
Even if it went active, it might get enough of a return to know we're out here. But there's something out there. That's all it will know. I am going to launch out of... Okay, we're getting good enough read on it. I'm pretty satisfied that is a Juliet. I think...
Come left to 093 Helm I.
He knows we're out here because we activated sonar. There's no way it missed that. Got a 95% solution. Yep, that's a Juliet. That is an old boat. Chubby girl, as Mags would say.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 125. Contact faded.
Yeah, that's because we're turning. And also we don't have the total ray. Total ray is a long cable that streams out behind the submarine. It would be back here. Excuse me. And what it does is a cable covered in, well, microphones, audio sensors. It's listening for sound. When you turn, of course, it's streamed out, so it puts a curve in it, and that disrupts its reception.
Con helm, steady course.
Doesn't mean we're going to pick the Juliet back up, though. Don't really want to go active again. Let's take a look at that thing's sensors here. Sharp teeth. This cylindrical low frequency array is filled fitted on the Victor, Juliet, Tango, and Charlie class submarines. It is comparable in performance to the U.S. BQQ-2 and doubles the detection range compared to the earlier Trout Cheek. That's on their active, but they haven't been active. This medium frequency set equipped some Soviet boats of the late 1960s, where it forms the active component of the Shark Teeth passive audio. Okay, so its active is pretty good, but the passive, not so much. The passive is 1960s technology. The active is mid 70s to possibly early 80s if it's in the Victors. I'm not sure when the Victor class submarines went into service. They are dangerous submarines, though. They're dangerous boats. More so than the Juliet. I mean, this thing's got an 18-knot top speed, only a test depth of 985 feet, and it's not that quiet. Alright. Let's see. I want to launch out of the left or port side too and see if we can't
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
We'll bring it over this way and then hook it down. And if the Juliet did not hear that launch, or at least not be able to tell its general area, any return fire should come toward the torpedo. It will detect the torpedo when it gets close enough, at least, anyway. Direct south. I didn't catch the Juliet's last known speed, so it should be somewhere down around in here, I believe. Down here. I'm surprised we haven't picked it back up, actually.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Okay, there we go. We found her. Now I activated the torpedo's sonar, and it should.
Con, sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1.
Here. That's probably directed at the torpedo.
Con, sonar, regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing one
Now we're
seven
not
nine.
picking it up here. What we're picking up now is the sonar off the torpedo is being transmitted back along the wire to the submarine. I'm surprised it hasn't dropped a noisemaker. She's not even trying.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 183. Contact breaking up.
Well, that is our primary. Question is, do we have anything else out
Con
here?
sonar switching to active search. Con sonar switching to passive search. Come left to 001
Change
helm I.
orientation and activate sonar again. Went up right up the rear end.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Oh, there's the torpedo it fired. I think maybe.
Make turns for 10 knots. Maneuvering
Just to
I.
turn faster, the submarine
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 10
can
knots.
only maneuver according to how much water is flowing over the control surfaces.
Shoot 2-1. Aye,
Oh,
sir.
that ain't what I wanted to do. I hit the wrong button. Wasted torpedo.
Con
there.
helm. Steady course.
I accidentally clicked the fire button on the mouse, which is right click. Well, no, I meant to also.
Con sonar switching to active search.
Now we're getting the return of the sonar for the active torpedo.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Oh, we do have something out there.
Con sonar switching to passive search. Come left to
There was
271
a
helm
ping
I.
from down this way. We do have something else out here. It's down here. There is another submarine. It was in our baffles. We couldn't hear it. Being in the baffles is not going to stop active sonar ping, though. We will hear that regardless. Any submarine will hear that, unless they absolutely have no sonar whatsoever. And that is very unlikely. Alright, what is down here? And where
Con helm. Steady course. Con sonar switching to active search.
Not picking anything up.
Con sonar switching to passive search.
Alright,
Come left to
come this way and see what we
197
can
helm
see.
I.
Oh, it might help.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
As I was saying, a submarine can only maneuver according to how much water is flowing over its control surfaces, and
maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
And that has to do with speed. The faster it goes, the faster the submarine is traveling through the water, the faster it will turn. So if you're dancing with a torpedo, you're going to be speeding up, top speed, or flank, so you can actually turn and dance. Alright, now we gotta go and see what we can find, because we're getting a active sonar ping from this direction.
Con, helm, steady course.
Whatever is out there. Well, we haven't detected a torpedo launch, so they don't have enough of a solution to fire on us, so I've got a sneaking suspicion they're having as hard a time finding us as we are finding them. I wish I hadn't launched that last torpedo though. 3 in the tubes, 11 in storage still, so we're good there. I still hated wasting that torpedo. My own silly fault, of course. Do some time compression here and get on down that way. I was actually doing this in shallow waters one time, it's years ago, doing 5 knots, being silent, trying to be sneaky. I knew there was another submarine around, and I lined up on its sonar ping and hit time compression. And in time compression, my submarine was destroyed when I ran into the other submarine. I didn't know you could actually do that, but yeah, it happened. I wish I'd been recording that. I didn't record anything back in those days. This isn't my first attempt at recording a game. I haven't had much luck with it. As I said, I'm new to this, and not understanding the software, I had a bit of a learning curve figuring out how to get the recording software to record the screen I wanted it to record. And then figuring out how to get a recording that could possibly be useful. So this is going to be, well, a comedy of errors on my part for a while. And I'll let you folks know right away, I am not that good at games. I've been playing video games for a very long time. You go back, the younger people, you younger folks, go on YouTube and search the Magnavox Odyssey game console, home game console. I had one of those. That was the first home game console that was available anywhere. And it was an abacus compared to today. It's not even an abacus, it's striking two rocks together trying to start a fire. It was silly simple. And by the way, I still have it. I would try and do some video capture. I'll see if I can get it to play on one of my monitors. I kind of doubt that I can. And I don't have a television that I think I can hook it up to anymore. The technology is just ancient, Stone Age. Especially compared to gaming consoles today, and most especially compared to computers.
Right to 270 Helm I.
Stream our towed array to something more of a 90 degree, and I wasn't thinking I should not have come down near the Juliet because the noise of that submarine is interfering with our sensors, I'm sure. It's on the bottom, it's got a big hole in its side, it's bleeding air and bubbling and creaking and groaning and just putting all sorts of interference in the water. Working with Sea Power, I've played a couple of the missions in Sea Power, but I didn't try to record them because, man, I've got a big learning curve on that game. I've never been in the military and know very little about military hardware. I know a missile from a torpedo and a gun from a rocket launcher, but that's about the extent of it. Well, I know a tank from a ship. I mean, that's not hard.
Con, helm, steady course.
Alright, we'll let the towed array, you can't see it. It's not rendered. But that's what this tube right there, you see that tube right there? The towed array would stream back behind the sub from that tube, and it's a very long cable. You can hear the Juliet, see bubbles coming out of it and everything. That's making a lot of racket and interfering with our ability to hear. Yeah, I made a bit of a mistake coming down around this thing in this area. I should have come more of an angle this way. Well, let's see what sonar can find, if anything.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
Fire off a few pings here. Oh, it's over here now.
Con sonar, switching to passive search.
Whatever it was launched a torpedo.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Shorten up the activation there. I know down here I saw a torpedo launch, which it just flashes it, and that gives you that's similar to just detecting the launch. It just flashes on the screen. You see a torpedo enter the water, and that's how the game simulates detecting the launch transient of a torpedo instead of them announcing that they detected the launch and so on and so forth. We've got a torpedo heading our way, and it's probably accurate in the direction it's coming because it was launched along the track of our sonar ping. Any sonar operator on a submarine worth their salt would, well, even if they're not worth their salt, they should be able to tell where that ping, the direction that ping came from, very clearly. I'm going to go active sonar on this. So it hits the activation. There's the other torpedo. So it should be right in here. That's where I think that was another launch transient. I think he's launching at...
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
No idea what it is yet, but it should come back on our active sonar from the torpedo itself. Yep, there's one of the torpedoes that launched.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 248.
That torpedo is going to detect us shortly.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar, new contact. Con sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing 256. Con sonar, we are cavitating.
What I meant. We've got very little room to duck and dive, and I don't know what. I think our torpedo hit it, but did not sink it.
Con, knuckle formed.
Okay, we got a knuckle. Yeah, this is cheating, but
turns 4. Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Con, knuckle formed.
We're not flooding, but our hull took a hit. That's why I don't like fighting in a bathtub like this.
Con sonar, switching to active search.
First deployment, and we've already taken a torpedo.
Con sonar, switching to passive search. Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Oh. Looks like it did get it. It's over here. Because there's the Juliet we sank. Right here. That's right there. And off in the distance, we've got another sub down there. So I guess our first torpedo did hit it. We just didn't identify it, so it's not giving us an indication of that. Well, we can wait for that torpedo to disappear, detonate. There it went. Leave combat. Oh, it was a Romeo. Romeo and Juliet. Now that's the way they usually launch, but it's not so much in this game. This is if I understand right, the reason they're giving these designation, these names, these submarines, if you saw Juliet, there was a Romeo around, or vice versa. Very pleased to see you dealt with those subs with determination and resolve, Commander. Remember that for every enemy vessel we take out, it means a safer transit for our troops and transports. Good work. Further orders to be transmitted this downlink. Wolves driven off. So the waters are safer for troops and return immediately to Hollylock, Scotland for repairs and to replenish stores. I will do that right now. Since we're right here anyway, I mean that's the logical thing to do since we took a torpedo. No medal, but 3 days at war, 1 mission accomplished, 1 submarine, oh, 2 submarines. We did get credit for it. I didn't think you got credit for them if you didn't identify them. Total tonnage 6,030 tons sunk. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this one here. And we've got enemy surface task forces preparing to sail from Murmansk for patrol in the vicinity of the Norwegian coast. Warships are armed with long-range cruise missiles and could wreak havoc on vital NATO supply convoys. You are ordered to intercept and destroy this task force. No other friendly units are in position to intercept the enemy in time. Locate and sink capital ships. Locate and sink any escorting warships if possible. Well, I wonder what they're calling capital ship. I've had some missions where I was sent out with this same objective to sink capital ships and didn't see what we would normally think of as a capital ship, but there was a Sovereigny in the lineup there, and that's what they were considering a capital ship. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we will get this taken care of in the next video. Like and subscribe if you enjoy it. Make a comment. Tell me how bad I am. Give me tips. I'll be fine with that. Have a good day. Good night.